Welcome to Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network. Join hosts Dan, Richie, and TD as they break down the latest news and storylines across the NFL, featuring game predictions, breakdowns, heated debates, live Patreon callers, and everything in between. Catch Fourth and Forever every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Fourth and Forever, man. First episode this week where all three of us were online, ready to talk a little bit of football. I miss this glorious trio, and I'm even more excited to talk a little ball with the boys today. Richie, what's going on with you, man?
What's good, boys? Good to be back on the show. If you guys missed it yesterday, I called in like a few minutes, and I was listening to Fourth and Forever as a viewer, but as a pure audio listener, which want to remind everybody, we are on audio if you guys want to check us out on Spotify, all platforms. And I just was driving my car, listening, because I always listen to sports talk radio when I'm driving. It's one of my favorite things. And I was listening from an objective lens. And like, Dan Mitchell, man, what a beast you are. Just educating me, bringing the energy, articulating the stats, and just like kind of setting the tone for the show, and then kicking it off to TD, who's just analyticals, bringing the juice. I was like, man, these are my co-hosts. Maybe they do know how to hold the show. Hopefully I can match that too. But no, it was cool to listen to you guys from that perspective. So I'm happy I took the day off just for that, helping my buddy out. But we're back on Fourth and Forever. We're excited to talk some NFL because there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff indeed. TD, what's going on, man?
Beautiful day, man. Weather's good outside. We're having a shift in the weather. It might start getting cooler around your neck of the woods, ladies and gentlemen. But here we are on Wednesday, hump day, to talk some more football. We got some previews coming up, latest news as always, and I'm excited about it as always. Let's get into it.
It's nice, man. Like this morning, like when I woke up and I was going to the gym, was 67 degrees this morning, bro. That felt good, man. That felt good. I had to dust off the sweater, right? I had a beanie going on, walking out to the gym, and I know that everyone from up north's laughing at me right now, but that's cold to me. Like, that's chilly.
I'm about to say, what are you guys saying? 60? I mean,
and so I got to bundle up when it gets that way, but you know what? I love it. I love it, man. It's a great thing. But you know what? The trade deadline is right around the corner. So obviously a lot of storylines are circulating around the league, and I think one of the biggest stories here was Maxx Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, it did come out that Las Vegas sat him down and told Maxx Crosby that they have no intention of shopping him around. But we've seen this story before. And a fan base that has been taking this and running with it is the Dallas Cowboys. It sounds like Jerry Jones is being very aggressive at the trade deadline, and he is looking for an impact player. And I got to tell you, if somehow he pulls something like that off, and it doesn't need to be Maxx Crosby, it could very well be a Trey Hendrickson. It could be somebody else on the opposite end. If he does pull that off, depending on the type of player, I think that we all owe Jerry Jones a significant apology, because it sounds like he would have clearly won that trade. But let's talk about the Raiders here and the Maxx Crosby situation. I look at the Raiders, man. It's clear that they do not have a quarterback. It's clear that they should have drafted a quarterback this year in the earlier rounds. Geno is a complete failure. Their wide receivers are awful. Their best one is likely going to be on the move during the trade deadline in Jacoby Myers, who requested a trade this previous offseason. Secondary is in complete shambles. So my question is, why are the Raiders so adamant about keeping Maxx Crosby on this roster, where you could very easily line yourself up and build this team the right way through the draft? It's completely confusing to me. I'm going to pass this along to my hosts here and see their thoughts on the situation. Richie, thoughts? Why on earth would the Las Vegas Raiders not even be considering like moving on from Maxx Crosby at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. They committed to him. They gave him the extension. Maxx Crosby is one of those players. And even as a Jets fan, we're in that same situation. It's like you're in a rebuild and your name is being talked about of being sellers. But you also haven't mixed this in from this perspective. Yeah, the Raiders are not winning right now. But let me ask you this. No matter what type of draft compensation the Raiders get for Maxx Crosby, you're not replacing Maxx Crosby with those picks. He's a generational talent, in my opinion. And I think that's where it comes down to. If you're the Raiders, you want Maxx Crosby to be the face of your team that helps you get out of this terrible time that they're in. Instead of trading them away, it frees up some money on the books. You get some draft picks, but you got to make sure you hit on those draft picks. And you're probably not going to get a Maxx Crosby in the draft to replace him. So I think that's the biggest reason for it. You know, it's really hard for these teams to give up on a player like Maxx Crosby. It's tough to do that, especially a guy like Crosby who's been loyal to the organization during all of their tough times. He always says, I don't want to go anywhere. He wants to be a Raider. So it really is one of those situations where you have to evaluate, is this somebody that you want to commit long-term to help get out of this turmoil? And what's your plan if you do trade him away? How are you going to replace him? And you're not going to be able to replace Maxx Crosby if you trade him away just in the draft. That's how good he is.
Maxx Crosby, is he safe, or do you think the Las Vegas Raiders should consider moving him, TD?
I think they need to consider moving him. This team don't look like they're going anywhere soon. I think they messed up at the quarterback position. And with that being said, it could be a ripple effect. You can keep on trying to kick the can down the road and be the Saints all you want for the next few years. You also have that Christian Wilkins situation looming, where there's a grievance, if I'm not mistaken, filed through the NFLPA. They just got a lot going on. If I'm the Raiders, man, I would just break it all down and get all you can and reset this thing the right way. But I think in that building, they're thinking that they already have certain people and key players in place, and they're not looking to move on from them. So they're going to stay the course, and that's why they're probably not interested in possibly trading him and keep on trying to build something. But in that division, you're falling further and further behind. The Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, all taking off on you, and you're the lone Raiders. So, yeah, they got problems, man.
Good God, man. You know what? On this show, we try to limit the AFC East news because we have the AFC East Roundtable this evening. But there are a couple of storylines coming from the Dolphins and the Jets organization that I feel like I need to discuss today. I need to. We're going to start off with the Jets storyline, and that's our good friend Woody Johnson, who was interviewed yesterday. And my guy threw Justin Fields under the bus. Holy hell. I cannot make this up. I don't think that I've ever seen any sort of behavior from an owner like this outside of Woody Johnson. I mean, maybe even Jerry Jones. Like, this was absolutely nuts. However, Rich, play the clip, and I mean, let us know your take on it.
That's absolutely ridiculous, dude. It really is. And I'm happy we're talking about this because I won't be on the AFC East Roundtable tonight because I'm headed to the Knicks game. So I'm happy we're able to talk about this because this pissed me off. And if you missed it, here is Jets owner Woody Johnson yesterday when he was asked about Aaron Glenn and the state of the New York Jets.
What's your confidence level in Aaron to turn it around?
Well, it looks like he's turning around parts of it. You know, it's hard when you have a quarterback with, with a rating that we got. You know,
and let me just say right there. Now, what rating do you think he's referring to?
It's probably Madden.
His Madden rating, probably. Let's not forget
it's
what
probably a
happened last
Madden rating.
time. Yeah, his rating's not great.
He has ability, but something just is not jiving. But if you look at any head coach with a quarterback like that, you're going to see similar results if you go across the league. You have to play consistently with, at that position, and that's what we're going to try to do for the remainder of the season.
So what gives you hope then? Does he give hope?
I just think defense, special teams are doing better. Defense is pretty good. And if we can just complete a pass, it would look good. We got to complete some pass. You got to convince them that you can do something.
I mean, absolutely
you
crazy.
Just complete a pass.
Thank you to Tom Rock. Tom Rock from Newsday, courtesy for the clip. We appreciate Tom Rock from Newsday, who got this clip of Woody Johnson. And let me just start off with this. Some people are like, yeah, well, like what he said isn't wrong. Yeah, what Woody Johnson said isn't wrong. And it's exactly what is happening. But you don't say those things, man. You just don't do that. You don't do that, in my opinion. I think that shows you this is a toxic work environment that he has created here with the New York Jets. And I'm having a lot of revelation about my organization. It's deeper than, can Aaron Glenn be a good coach? Can Justin Fields be a good quarterback? It's, can Woody Johnson put these guys in proper situations? Now, Aaron Glenn had to talk about this in the media. His press conference was 10 minutes about Woody Johnson's questions. Justin Fields is going to have to deal with this. This is another distraction that they have to deal with at 0-7 that they don't need right now. So that's my take on it. It's just, you don't do that. You don't say that publicly. What he said is actually true. That's the funny thing about it. But you simply just don't say those things.
You simply don't say those things, according to Richie. Now, some further news. It sounds like Aaron Glenn has not yet committed who is going to be the starting quarterback this upcoming weekend. I feel that Woody Johnson probably does have at least a bit of influence. I would not be surprised if Tyrod Taylor is marching out there as QB1.
Actually, Glenn was asked that exact question. Does Woody have any say on the quarterback decision? And Aaron Glenn said, no, Woody gives me full control, full confidence in me, and I'm going to make that decision. It's going to be Tyrod. He has not announced it, but it's going to be Tyrod Taylor.
Of course.
And again, what Woody said is true. I'm not denying that, but like, I just don't think it's a healthy workspace for your owner to publicly bash a player like Justin Fields when you gave him $30 million of guaranteed money. I just think that's just not a good look for this organization at all.
It's pretty tough. TD, thoughts on this? Should Woody Johnson have gone off like that?
He the owner. He can do whatever he wanted. But that is crazy work. I will say that. Yeah, man. Blow it all up. Blow it all up at this point. You can't have an owner doing that, man.
Okay,
That's
when you
like,
blow it all up, what does that mean to you?
man, bring a whole
Woody
new
to blow it
team.
up?
Huh?
You want Woody to blow it up, or someone above Woody's got to come in and blow Woody?
No. Aaron Glenn, just blow it all up. Obviously, but I will say this: Aaron Glenn got to feel better to know that, hey, he notices, hey, some parts are getting better, and then you're basically scapegoating Justin Fields, and Woody's basically saying we need a quarterback. So the Jets are drafting a quarterback in the first round. Okay. That the Jets are drafting a quarterback. For your owner to say the words that he just said about Justin Fields, y'all are going to make an investment in a quarterback, period. Okay. And everybody in that front office, GM and coach, they know it. Do not fumble the ball. Our owner is calling out the quarterback. So let's go ahead and get a quarterback. There ain't no question about it. I mean, the man's like, if we could just complete a pass. That is embarrassing. But you know what? It's the Jet thing. It's a Jet thing, man.
And that's the reality of the Jets, though. It's like real quick, like what Woody Johnson said is accurate. But again, publicly doing it in that way, I don't think is healthy. But I will give Aaron Glenn a lot of credit. He handled that really well. Way better than I initially thought he would in the press conference today when asked about it. And, he embraced, like, Woody Johnson is entitled to his comments. He's the owner. And Aaron Glenn talked to the entire team about Woody's comments. And like, that's what I mean. Like, some people are like, yeah, well, what he said is not wrong. Like, he should be saying those things. I'm just saying, bro, the Jets are 0-7. They got enough distraction. That just adds another layer to it that they just don't need. That's my thoughts of it.
Woody want to win.
Woody
want to win, man.
So I think that there's a sense of professionalism, right? Like, you can be clear that he's not the guy. Like he could have worded it differently. And look, I understand that Justin Fields is awful, right? I know that he can't complete a pass. He's not wrong. But I do think that there is a sense of professionalism. And an NFL owner is a lot different than a diehard fan, right? Like, have to represent that organization. And why I'm giving him so much crap about this is that this is a regular occurrence from him, right? It's him and Jerry Jones who speak way too often.
And I want to show you guys, since we're on this Woody Johnson topic, a thing came out about him from my good friend NYJ Matt. And he has a scoop on Woody. And I thought this was interesting. Came back in 2024. Just shows to show you the type of, human being Woody Johnson is. It's a funny one, actually. Jets scoop. This is not a bit, actually a real story. Jets had food trucks at practice in 2024 each Friday. Woody Johnson cut costs and stopped it. Aaron Rodgers decided to bring it back for the team by paying $10,000 out of his own pocket. Woody Johnson was pissed off at Rodgers because he went behind his back and undermined him. like this is just a little nugget.
Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah, this is real.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
this is like, and this is not a big deal, right? This was years ago, but this is just a small little sample size of little things that's going on in this building that we're not aware of as fans, and we're seeing it come together. And it's like he had and everyone also is blaming Aaron Glenn for not bringing back Aaron Rodgers. That was Woody Johnson's decision, first of all. So Aaron Glenn's going to take the blame for what he did. That was Woody, pissed off at Rodgers. A lot of stuff that happened behind closed doors between Woody and Rodgers that Woody hated, and that's why the Jets did not want to bring him back.
So I'll tell you what, man. So the Jets currently are 0-7. All right. Their best possible record would be 10-7. Okay, if they were to go on some generational run,
Which we will, baby.
have some Tyrod Taylor magic right in front of us. But safe to say, if they drop 0-8 next week, I think that this is a sign of a fire sale from this said organization. And Richie, are there any players on the team currently where you have already begun saying your goodbyes to? Like players that you really think are going to be donning a new uniform here within the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, the one guy that I'm shocked about that is actually getting a lot of interest and some momentum that the Jets could be trading away that I did not see coming is Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Johnson was one of the first-round picks the Jets got with Sauce and Garrett Wilson. Did not get an extension. He has a fifth-year option, so he has control next year. And he got healthy this season, and the Jets have been elite the last 2 weeks. Jermaine Johnson got hurt in week 2. The defense fell off the face of the earth, and then he comes back. The Jets defense transformed. A lot of other reasons, not just Jermaine, of course, but Jermaine Johnson is a guy that could get traded, and guess who is calling the Jets about him, according to the rumors? The 49ers, led by Robert Saleh. And you remember the story of Bryce Huff?
Yeah.
Remember I interviewed him at the Super Bowl, and he was sitting there like as a fifth string.
Scratch.
Healthy scratch. Do you know where Bryce Huff is right now?
Where's that?
He's on San Francisco, dominating. Back to where he was on the Jets. The Eagles somehow got out of that contract. He goes to San Francisco, and Bryce Huff is playing like Nick Bosa. I don't know if you watched Sunday Night Football, but it was unreal to see Bryce Huff. Every single pass snap, he was in Michael Penix's lap every time. Like, yep, that's Robert Saleh.
Well,
Robert Saleh built Bryce Huff.
What's the common denominator there? Yeah, what's the common denominator?
That's my point. The reason I bring that up is the Niners are calling the Jets on Jermaine Johnson. Robert Saleh wants his guys, and that scares me, bro. So, I got nothing but, love for Saleh. I don't have any hate in my heart for him, rooting for him just because he's a good dude. Didn't do anything good for the Jets, of course, but that's a name I'm watching, Jermaine Johnson. Michael Carter II is another, and then Breece Hall's name is another one to watch out for. And you keep bringing up the name Garrett Wilson, Dan. Stop it. I know rents due. I know you like rage baiting, but Garrett Wilson is the literally biggest untouchable on our team. He ain't going nowhere, Dan Mitchell. Stop with the Garrett Wilson being traded.
All I did, right? Look, it's trade deadline time, and people continuously say, "Oh, Dan, we can't afford these guys," and I just like showing how much it would cost the team if we were to make a move. That's all I said.
Yeah,
that's all I said. That's all I said. I said, look, in a world where the Jets would be smart and ship Garrett Wilson off, the Bills would obviously need to pay an in-division tax.
Jets would not be smart to ship away Garrett Wilson. See, that's where you're wrong.
They want their receiver bad, man.
Dude, the Jets would be morons to get rid of Garrett Wilson. He's like the only good thing we have.
Yeah. Look,
that's the one guy.
Waddle, Garrett Wilson, I'll take him. Who's the highest bidder? Y'all want some first-round picks? Dude, if I was in charge of this front office, dude, I'd sweeten the pot like no one's business. I'd send you over 2 first-rounders and a second and Curtis Samuel. And people will be like, oh, they're not the first-round picks. Name a first-round pick the Buffalo Bills have hit on since Josh Allen. Oh, wait. Exactly.
You can't, which is why you have a draft problem.
Screw those first-round picks. Screw those picks. I'm just kidding. Anyway, another piece of news. Things continue to get dark for the Miami Dolphins. Their recently acquired Darren Waller once again finds himself on the IR. Okay, he is now officially on the injured reserve. Good God, man. Good God. I got to ask you this, TD, because I was talking to some of my buddies over on the Bills Roundtable, and we're convinced the reason that Mike McDaniel still has a job is because ownership doesn't want to pay his severance fee or like his overall contract, which would be due to him if fired. Because that's how coaching contracts work, ladies and gentlemen. It does not go toward the cap at all. It is exclusively out of the owner's pockets. Most head coach contracts have this little clause that if fired before the end of their deal, the full amount must be paid to them immediately. Because we're just trying to rack our brain. We're just trying to be like, how does this guy still have a job? Is it Mike McDaniel's fault? Probably not. I'd probably put it more so with Chris Grier and with the regression of Tua. But what the hell? How is he still employed? Does he have some dirt on ownership? Like, what's going on?
Well, it has nothing to do with money, first off. Stephen Ross, he'll eat that like that. Go ahead and take your money. Bye. It's a lot of speculation, but a lot of people are led to believe this has something to do with the Brian Flores lawsuit in particular, because Chris Grier is the longest standing 10-year general manager in the National Football League to not have won a playoff game, which is ridiculous. Nobody by far has lasted that long at the general manager position without winning a playoff game. And when you look at it, see the lawsuit with Flores isn't directly against the Dolphins anymore. That piece of it was dropped. It was against the NFL and those said parties that interviewed him. But remember, a lot of what they said is the reason why they didn't hire him has a lot to do potentially with what happened in Miami. But some of that stuff may have not have been true as people think. And if he can prove that, that can be an issue for the NFL. So I think Chris Grier is he's not going to lose his job. He's going to be moved into another role. Mike McDaniel, on the other hand, we just got some inside information from Omar Kelly last night, where he basically said after the game, and just so you know, Stephen Ross goes to every game, and Stephen Ross is in the locker room after every game, and he kind of meets with Mike McDaniel in McDaniel's office after every game. And this time he met with them, and they were in there for a long time. And Mike McDaniel came to the press conference not happy. All right. So there's obviously some concern there. And I think that hot seat just became official. We've been giving him the hot seat for a while, but I think it's more official now. And I think that he's probably been given that ultimatum in the next 2 weeks. I need to see something change. We need a win in the next 2 weeks. Atlanta, Baltimore, we need a win in the next 2 weeks. And by the way, breaking news just dropped. Lamar Jackson is back on the practice field. So that doesn't bode well for the Dolphins in 2 weeks. So, and it's a short week. We got to play Sunday and then Thursday before our bye. So
wait, you're Thursday night against the Ravens Thursday next week?
Yeah, we play Atlanta Sunday and then the Ravens Thursday night football. So short turnaround with no weapons. Tyreek gone, Waller gone. Just more to turn the ball over.
Quinn
so Waddle's about to be a Buffalo Bill, so
I bet you wish that you really.
Oh man, give me that wide receiver, man.
That's what you want.
I'll show you how to use him.
I'll show you how to use him for a second. Let's see Malik Washington for a second.
Malik Washington.
God, man, holy hell! Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up because Lamar Jackson is apparently practicing as we speak, which is, I mean, obviously good things for this Baltimore Ravens organization. Richie, you weren't here yesterday, but TD and I, we were discussing how the AFC North is looking like. Why is it still ingrained in me to believe that Baltimore is winning this division? Like, why do I believe that still? They're 1-5, right? Like, you have your starting cornerback asking if he should go on a glizzy taste tour around the country one day, 50 states, 50 glizzies. And that was Marlon Humphrey. He's been getting a lot of crap for his social media antics as the Baltimore Ravens defense has been historically bad. But why do I still feel like this team is winning the AFC North? Richie, talk to me.
Because of everything. that we've seen the last few years. I would say slow down on coming back to win the division. Let's not forget, it would still be crazy if they came back and made the playoffs. Like, that's their number one priority, is make it as a wild card team. They're 1-5. Like, there is no room for error anymore for the Baltimore Ravens. That's something you got to remember. This hole that they're in, they're not 500. They're not like 2 games below 500. Like, the Chiefs were in the Chiefs start 0-2. Like, they start off the season at a hole, but they came back out. Now they're 4-3. Now everyone's seeing them. But this is a different type of hole, man. And with all their issues on defense, I still think that they're not going to win the AFC North. I think it's too much. But I could see them coming back and winning a lot of games to get back into the playoffs as a 7th seed, perhaps. But I would slow down. And the reason you believe that is because with Lamar, even in those first 2 games, first 3 games before he got injured, they look great. I mean, I know they lost week 1 to Buffalo, but that was a crazy game that the Ravens looked good until the collapse happened. And then week 2, they dominated the Browns. And then week 3 was when they got beat up by the Chiefs. And then Lamar got hurt, and you haven't seen him since. So I could see them going on an opportunity to win the playoffs. I'm sorry, make the playoffs a wild card team, but I don't know about winning the division anymore. Just because the margin, they would have to literally lose 1 more game for the rest of this season for that to happen.
Yeah, most definitely. I saw Lamar Jackson beefing with Dov Kleeman earlier.
No
Did
way.
you see that? Yeah.
Lamar was
Dov posted a video of him going to a food truck or something along those lines, and he tried insinuating that he was
saying that he looks high or something.
Yeah, or whatever, and like he was completely beefing with Dov Kleeman.
Dude, no
on
way.
Twitter. You could always leave it to Lamar for beefing with some of these social media personalities on X. I love it. It's
who does that a lot?
It's
as
must
well?
be TV. Who?
In the NBA world, it's Kevin Durant. He's notorious for just responding to everybody on X and just engaging with the trolls, and it's hilarious. I think Lamar is the NFL version of that.
He's the NFL version of that, man. Damn.
Where is it though? I'm looking for it.
If you'll see Lamar Jackson food truck. Let me see.
Was it? He said, "Bro, y'all got to stop engaging with these people. They like to lie."
Yeah. So here's the video. Let's go to pull this up, and you be the judge. Folks. We will ask you in the chat and to let us know your thoughts here. Let's share this real quick.
I know what time it is. Fine, just put up on me real decent, man.
Oh yeah, let me show you thinking.
How you feeling, Woo?
Feeling good.
Already, man.
Show that.
Show, man. Show love, fam.
You already know that.
Already, fam.
And what was has gone viral for
He
looking
says trending.
God.
Ravens star quarterback Lamar Jackson has gone viral for looking extremely high while buying street food past midnight. We have never seen an NFL player this fried.
Oh. So let me just educate everybody really quick about Dov Kleiman.
Yeah.
There has been 4 or 5 different Dov Kleimans. That account keeps getting sold.
Yeah. It just keeps getting sold. Yeah.
And whoever's running it, I hope you realize, is doing posts like that for this exact reason, to get Lamar Jackson himself to engage with it and to get us to talk about it. And they're doing a good job because we're talking about it. But that's really what it comes down to. It's just clickbaity engagement stuff. They say the most obscure things on purpose, and then people question oh, you said what? Yeah, he's doing it on purpose. Stop being it drives me nuts. For people that fall for all this.
So here's the deal too. That's legal in the NFL now, right?
Yeah, it is. So even if
Players can just burn
out
if they
in the
want
cloud.
to.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. So you're telling me a grown man can't smoke the devil's lettuce and go get himself 2 stacked up plates from a food truck? Come on. I thought this was America.
He's got to be rehabbing that hamstring, bro. Not getting that chicken stuff. Nah, man. I mean, that's just pure nonsense. And I hate accounts like Dov Kleiman for that reason. Not going to lie.
My God. All right. So yesterday, Richie, we were also discussing the Washington Commanders, and we looked at their schedule, and it's awful. It is very bad, right? It's hard for me to really see this team turn it around. In fact, TD and I were somewhat in agreement that based off of the remainder of their schedule, 7 wins, maybe, a significant downfall from last year. Now we hear that Jaden Daniels is officially out against the Kansas City Chiefs. Marcus Mariota will now start his 3rd straight game. The way that Kansas City has been playing, I think that we can go on ahead and just chalk this up as an L for the boys in Washington, barring a miracle. Thoughts on the Washington Commanders? Have we given up on them to be playoff contenders this year? Rich.
This is weird stuff because I'm not going to put this all on Jaden Daniels, but he is entering the CJ Stroud category. Because what's wrong? These sophomore slumps, bro. Like when I say, and I'm not going to say anything like right now, if I'm picking Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud, I'm picking Jaden Daniels 10 out of 10 times. And I'm just talking about the hype. And this is not a knock on Daniels, but whenever a rookie quarterback goes out there and balls the way that he does, that's going to create a lot of offseason hype. How much hype was around the Commanders? And now he's injury prone and they're not winning. And that's something that we got to evaluate, bro. We got to evaluate, why these sophomore slumps happen. And it's not just a sophomore slump for Daniels himself. It's a sophomore slump for Dan Quinn, his 2nd year as that coach, the entire team. Dude, they may be screwed because the Giants low-key kind of caught up to them. And the Cowboys are playing really good football. They're going to be aggressive for some defensive help. The Eagles are still the Eagles. So, yeah, dude, I think Washington, especially with how competitive the NFC is, their season is done. And when I mean season's done, I just mean they're not making no playoffs, especially with Jaden Daniels injured. And it's a shame that if he was healthy all season long, I think that they would still be in the race throughout this entire season, even with their schedule. But the injuries to Daniels is the big issue here as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to put him in a CJ Stroud category yet because he has had a lot of people in and out of that lineup, the whole team, including himself. But here's what I would say. They're in trouble. They are in trouble. That division isn't getting any easier. Cowboys, I feel like, going to go on a run. The Eagles going to do what they do. And, man, you got to look out for the Giants picking up a few wins here and there. Even in that loss the other night, I think, versus Denver, that was like so close. So the Commanders got to do something like big time real soon. They need to win a game without Jaden Daniels. They need to win this next game to stay relevant. Because if they lose it and they start stacking losses with him being out, it's over. And you want to pick up where you left off because the team did so well last year going to the NFC Championship game. You thought that can we get over the hump and go to a Super Bowl? But now I don't even know if you're going to make the playoffs. So tough spot to be in if you're the Commanders and you made some investments this year. So, yeah.
I need your thoughts on CJ Stroud now because you were very defendant of him and you were a believer in him. And it's gotten to a point now where he has been consistently bad. And I'm just curious your thoughts because I was not here yesterday.
The fall off is real. I'm at that point now where, hey man, you now probably have more non-impactful football than you have impactful football. And I think we've just reached that phase. So he goes in that category for me. Maybe you are good enough not to be good enough. We'll see.
Is he even going to be in that? Maybe.
Yeah, he is because I look at it as his overall. Of course, he looks bad right now, but Baker looked bad at one point. Sam looked bad at one point. So, guys have moments. Guys have streaks of just bad play. So I just think that they need to be more creative and get him woken up and figure out how you can make life easier for him. But he's not helping himself right now, and he's taking a knock for it.
And you know what's crazy about CJ Stroud? And I'm not even kidding. I will say the big reason why I lost any belief in CJ Stroud was how the Jets made him look in their matchup a few years back. And the reason why I bring that up is that game against the Jets, when he looked that bad, he has never been the same since. It was that moment. And even Texans fans are saying, ever since CJ Stroud got dominated by the Jets the way that they did that, he has not been that same rookie version of CJ Stroud where he looks like the great version of himself. And I think the big thing there was there's a blueprint that was showed, and a lot of these teams are completely taking away not just CJ Stroud, but that scheme they're running and know exactly how to shut it down with ease. So it's going to be tough for them, man, because they got great defense led by a terrible offense. And I think they're kind of done. I really, really do not. And maybe they got a big decision to make. Do they want to invest in CJ Stroud as their guy long-term, or is he going to have that Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold type of career where he bounces around and finds a home and then becomes a baller later on in his career?
Yeah, they ain't looking great right now.
Well, I mean, maybe like so their GM Caserio might actually start putting a bit more effort into building an offensive line around him.
Yeah, the O-line isn't great, but you still got to be better than that, Dan.
Yeah, you do. But like then again, I also blame the media for crowning him as a top 5 quarterback, right?
Yeah.
It helped for the first year.
I mean,
It helped for his
right.
first year because that offensive line was much better his first year opposed to the past 2. Sometimes a generational type QB is going to elevate a team even if they have piss poor protection. It's just how it is.
Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl with no offensive line.
Exactly. But it takes a special kind of quarterback, and the problem was that we were crowning CJ Stroud as one of those guys after just the sample size. But you weren't, Richie, and you were on record for that. But I wonder how long that's going to take right before we start giving the same criticism to Jaden Daniels. I'm not going to give it to him yet because he's only played like half of the season. He's been injured. This is now his 3rd game so far, but I mean, what can you do? So what?
A lot of crazy stuff that this NFL has never been in a better spot, in my opinion, in terms of the competitiveness and not really knowing who's going to be out there. And I feel like I want to talk about the updated MVP conversation because there's one name that I think has not been talked about from us that is a huge dark horse in this MVP race that needs to get some love.
Who is it?
Can you guess?
A dark horse at the quarterback position?
Is it Indiana Jones?
No, we've never mentioned him on this show as a MVP candidate yet.
Stafford.
No, we mentioned him as a dark horse last week.
Haven't. Mahomes, we mentioned him. Hasn't. Damn, dude. Now this is a brain buster.
We haven't mentioned them, is what you're saying, Richie. Are we talking about Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Just why do I feel like this is your
It's not.
daily Sam Darnold reference?
It's not Sam Darnold. I mentioned him. I'm on record.
Oh, Dak Prescott.
Correct.
Dak
Prescott.
Dak's a baller,
Dak
man.
Prescott's balling, dude. He has 3 straight games with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, and no one's talking about it, dude. Like, nobody's talking about Dak Prescott.
Dude, you know what I don't get?
He's crazy.
I don't get how every single time that he has a season like this, he did it 2 seasons ago when he was fully healthy. Everyone acts shocked every single time that you hear Dak Prescott's name in an MVP conversation. He's a good quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. He's a good quarterback. I was watching the NFC East Roundtable a couple of weeks ago, and Jay Tucker, Cowboys representative, went on and said it with his chest, and I respect him for it. He said that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC East. And of course, he was getting trolled by the people in the live chat, by his co-hosts. But I didn't think that was a crazy-ass take. I think when it comes into actual efficient consistency, when Dak Prescott is healthy, bar none, he's the best quarterback in the NFC East by a landslide.
They're going to have to revisit that conversation on that channel soon.
And they're going to have to. No. Listen, I feel like that they need to play the clip of Jay Tuck saying it and people laughing at him and then pulling up and comparing how everybody else in that division is moving right now. Like, Dak is out there a man possessed. Stats
second in yards, second in passing touchdowns, first in QBR. And this is without CeeDee Lamb for a stretch of time.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is absolutely balling. And I remember he had a season like this recently. But I think the Cowboys are onto something if they can get some defensive help at the deadline. I really do.
So here's something to take it even further, right? Like, we saw Philadelphia bounce back, okay? But I don't think it's crazy to say that Dallas has a good opportunity of winning this division in the NFC East. If those rumors are true, that Jerry Jones is truly going out with an open checkbook, wanting to leverage that money he saved from not paying Micah Parsons' 5th-year option, if he can bring in like a game-changing pass rusher, I think the Cowboys take this division.
I think, and just to add on to that, Dan, the Cowboys called the Jets about Micah Parsons, and they wanted Quinnen Williams. So I wonder if they're calling, if Jerry Jones is still interested in Quinnen, or even Jermaine Johnson, because the Jets have, Will McDonald. The Jets have 3 players in their defensive line that I'm sure Jerry Jones would like. Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams. Just the question is, are the Jets willing to get rid of one of those guys?
Yeah. And so I see people laughing in the chat right now about the Cowboys.
TD's laughing at you. TD's nodding his head. He hates the Cowboys.
Like here's the thing.
It's personal with TD with the Cowboys.
So, but here's the thing, though. Like the same people laughing at that take were the same people laughing when Dak Prescott was mentioned to be the best quarterback in the NFC East, and I think it's pretty clear at this point.
I think the knock on Dak continues to be he's a regular season guy, doesn't play in the big games, and I think that's always
I never once said
that over him until he actually steps up in the big games. That's why Jalen Hurts,
for sure. But like, I never said that I didn't think the Cowboys were going to get first rounded. I just said that I think that they might carry on their momentum in the regular season, win the division, and then maybe just get bounced by the 6 seed Seahawks at one point. Who knows? TD thoughts.
Zach Wilson in the playoffs.
Because Dak is Zach Wilson in the playoffs. Interesting. TD thoughts.
Dak has played well overall.
Great. Better than well.
He's played well overall. Listen, I watch the Cowboy games, okay? I'm not getting fooled by garbage time stats that he also puts up. Let's not forget when they lost 31-14 to the Chicago Bears, trash time. They also lost to the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. I think they lost to the Panthers. And then tied with Green Bay. That was a good game, Bob. But Dak's playing good football. He's playing good football, but again, it's about consistency and also getting the wins for your team. Remember, MVP, they're still going to be looking at, the team success too. How did you contribute to the team success? Because we all even recognize Joe Burrow should have been one of the top candidates last year, but the team success didn't match. So Dak's going to have to mirror that team success to be taken serious as an MVP candidate. He has the numbers for it, but at the same token, a lot of people are recognizing these shootouts and these late game, yardage that he puts up. But he's still playing good football. I'm not knocking Dak. Dak, you got to remember, Dak before the injury last year, it should have been one of the top 3 NFL MVP candidates. He had a great season 2 years ago. I mean, it was phenomenal, and nobody talked about it. This is one of those things time has to tell, but they probably got to win a division for him to be taken serious as actually being an MVP.
Kind of curious now.
Is this going to be tied to team success?
Well, it's tough with this Cowboys team, right? Because you see him go out and really be competitive against some of the NFL's elite, but then they lose to the Carolina Panthers, right?
Is it the elite though? Were they competitive with the elite?
Let's see.
Maybe a divisional opponent, but the elite.
So they kept it close with the Eagles.
Division
lost. They scraped by the Giants, the Russell Wilson Giants.
Division is supposed to.
Got destroyed by the Bears. Tied the Packers. Tied the Packers, which sucks, dude. I hate ties, man. Please eviscerate those. 37 points against the Jets defense. And then lost 30-27 to the Panthers, and then beat the hell out of the Commanders 44-22. So I don't know. Next week they do have the Broncos, who have 38 sacks, by the way.
Good test.
That's one of the craziest things I feel like we're not giving the Broncos credit enough for. They are the sack leader by double digits. Number 2 is double digits below them, which is insane. Cardinals, Raiders, Philadelphia, Kansas City, Lions, and Vikings. Okay, so their gauntlet begins on November 23rd, where they go up against the Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Detroit Lions. I wouldn't say that the Vikings are slouches by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, so they have a gauntlet incoming, folks. Let's figure out who this Cowboys team is.
But they got 3 winnable games coming up first.
Yeah.
I got another impromptu,
Uh-oh.
drama related.
Oh,
Dan likes drama.
What's it
feed
mean?
it to me.
Dan's TikTok brain is give me it. I'm sure you guys saw it, but the whole Russell Wilson and Sean Payton feud.
Yeah, what is that about?
I'll show you. So basically, Sean Payton was talking to the media, and he said that he has a close relationship with the Giants owner, John Mara. And he basically said to John, we were hoping that you did not, like, you got a guy in Jackson Dart. We were hoping that you did not go to Jackson Dart until after our matchup, basically taking a little shot at Mr. Russell Wilson.
I have a ton of respect for that organization. I spent 4 of my early years there, coordinating Super Bowl, first game in this stadium before 9/11, close with the Mayor Tisch family. And, they found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game.
Because he wanted to face off against Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson goes on X, and he tweets himself, classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. So Russell Wilson and the Sean Payton relationship is still at an all-time high.
Oh, he hated him, bro.
I know. TD, your thoughts?
I think it's funny.
And they hated each other.
I don't want to hear no classless. I'm tired of everybody holding their tongue. That's why I'm happy with Woody Johnson, and I'm happy with what Peyton did. Man, call these guys out. It is what it is. Stop all like I understand professionalism, man. The NFL is reality now. It's reality. Okay, so speak your mind, say what you got to say, and he said what he had to say. Russell took offense to it, as he should, and he clapped back. But I'm sorry, Russ, you ain't wrong. I mean, I feel his sentiment. At the end of the day, you were not good at all in Denver. And if I was a coach, it would have made me mad too, having to be stuck with this guy. So they moved on. They got Bo Nix, and now it makes Russ look even worse because you got a young guy coming in doing more with less. So, yeah, I don't have any problem with it. Speak your mind and throw little shots if you want to, because it's how you feel.
Can you imagine if the NFL started going with UFC style press conferences?
Let's do it.
Right? Russell Wilson robbed the city of Denver for $70 million. You're damn right. I wanted to put belt to ass on that whack job. You know what I mean?
Fool.
I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, I have been a huge proponent of Russell Wilson. Should have hung it up a long time ago, right? I feel like he probably should have hung it up after Denver. And to be honest with you, I think that he's single-handedly he is sabotaging his chance of making it into the Hall of Fame. Like, that's actually that's a good topic. Is Russell Wilson sabotaging a Hall of Fame ballot?
No. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh, okay. Let's imagine that he called it a career. Rather than getting traded to the Broncos, he said, you know what? I'm good. Was Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer in your eyes?
I think
I've seen a lot of quarterbacks that have accomplished a lot less than Russell Wilson have made the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Who?
I can go ahead and pull it up, but trust me, there are several players that have made the Hall of Fame for a lot less. That didn't have a Super Bowl appearance, that weren't in the MVP conversations. Yeah. Rich. Would Russell Wilson have been a Hall of Famer if rather than getting traded to Denver, he called it a career?
I think he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I
don't think he's the first ballot.
I wouldn't say he was first ballot, but
no, I know. But I think, eventually he'd get in down the line. Still, I still think that even based off what he's done the back end of his career, I just think what he did over there in Seattle, and obviously you can say he was carried and all that, but it was a collective, Russell Wilson was clutch, dude. He did so many great things for that franchise in Seattle that leveled up his game. He was a workhorse. He was pushing the ball down the field. And that stretch of his career, in my opinion, was a Hall of Famer. I really do. And I don't think what he's doing in the back end is going to hurt that personally. But it's a debate, though. I'm not sitting here saying it's cemented. And I think there is an argument for the other side saying that he's not a Hall of Famer or he doesn't even have a Hall of Fame career even in Seattle. I think that is definitely up for debate. But I think that people forgetting how good Russell was in those days with Seattle because the Legion of Boom was there and people just assume it was just Marshawn Lynch and Legion of Boom carrying him. I think that may be a little bit of a stretch. Russ was a baller, like an absolute big reason why they were a Super Bowl champion and was in 2 Super Bowls total.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of us would agree that Cam Newton's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Like, not first ballot, but I do think that he would. I would argue that Russell Wilson's first half of his career was more impressive than Cam's. Like, Cam, yes, made it to the Super Bowl, had that MVP season, which was absolutely insane. But I think both of those players are on, like, the same playing field as far as Hall of Fame honors when you really look at it.
I don't think he gets in the Hall of Fame.
Well, now, but like we're talking about if he didn't get traded to the Denver Broncos, would he have had a shot at being in the Hall of Fame? And has he sabotaged his chance of being in it now?
No, you can't tell me a 6-year quarterback has a Hall of Fame chance. You can't tell me that. Like, I mean, when you really look at it, he's put together 5 pretty great seasons during that Legion of Boom era and everything. But as soon as he got paid, I mean, in 2021, from there on out, he never threw over 4,000. He never threw over 3,500 in the next 6 years of his career or whatever. You really just look at the Seahawks days, and that's 7 years. And that last year wasn't the greatest, obviously, and they moved on. But I don't think he actually makes the Hall of Fame. Period. First, second ballot. You know who you always supposed to compare a quarterback with?
Who's that?
Eli Manning. You're always supposed to compare with Eli. And when you look at Eli, those 2 Super Bowls, not the one that Russ got, but the 2 Super Bowls, that's what gets him over the top. And then who he did him against. It's like everybody always talks about the rule is, can you tell the NFL story without mentioning this person? When they mention that era in the Seahawks, I feel like they would talk about the Legion of Boom and Marshawn Lynch before they talk about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but
then he's third, obviously, and he did his job. He played well during that era, but are we really going to say 5 years of play, 6 years, bam, Hall of Fame? Because you did nothing after that. Are we really going to give somebody 6 years?
This is how I look at it, though. My opinion, first of all, if they ran the ball, he would have beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl for a second, but they didn't. They passed it at the 1 and threw a pick. But I don't know if you know where he ranks on all time in terms of statistics. Does that not matter?
Nope.
No? Does it matter that he's 16th all time in passing yards above a lot of good quarterbacks? He's 12th all time in touchdowns.
I'm glad you said that. Just give me the top 10.
The top 10 of what?
What category is he top 10?
So you have to be top 10 all time in order to be a Hall of Famer?
No, give me something, though, that you were maybe like a top 10 player doing this or doing that.
He was a top 10 player in those times.
No. I ain't talking about, see, this is the Hall of Fame. We're talking of all time. Give me something that you cracked the top 10 in historically.
He is top 5 to top 10 among quarterbacks in career passing rating.
In all time passer rating, he's top 5 to 10. What does that mean? 5 to 10. He doesn't have a number.
I looked it up. He's around 5th in an all-time career passer rating. Let me pull up the source. His career passer rating is 99.4. And according to whatever source I'm looking at, which is Google, it's saying that he's among the top 5 to 10 quarterbacks all time in passer rating.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's pretty good, but I don't see it. I still don't see the Hall of Fame career.
Yeah,
so
let me ask you a question.
All time in passing yards, 12th all time in passing touchdowns, and around top 5 to top 10 in career passer rating. Has a Super Bowl ring. Went to 2 Super Bowls total.
Yeah,
That's a Hall of Fame career, dude.
Let me ask you. No,
that's not. I don't know what is.
No, let me ask you a question, Richie. This is a good one. If Lamar Jackson retires today, is he a Hall of Famer?
Honestly, I would. I mean, how much do we talk about the longevity that requires? Because I would argue,
it matters. It matters, the longevity.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you stop playing today, is Lamar Jackson a Hall of Famer?
I would say, yeah. I mean, he has a lot of all-time things.
I wouldn't say that either. I wouldn't even say Josh Allen is a Hall of Famer if he retired today.
He doesn't have 2 MVPs like Lamar, so
yeah, they're certified on their way. It's no question. 4 more years of play, they guaranteed. But right now in their career, both of them being 6 to 7 years in, they are not Hall of Famers. And guess what? Both of them have had better careers than Russell Wilson without the Super Bowl.
Damn.
I'm just saying. Maybe I'm off. I'm just saying, it matters. You can come into this league. We have a lot of quarterbacks give you a nice 4 years. But how's their career?
There's so much I would like to cover on this episode today, boys. So much. You know what, man? Dude, right before the preview episode,
Wilson is not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Time will tell. I think that we'll all agree that he is not doing himself any favors. He's certainly sabotaging his Hall of Fame.
Russell Wilson big time, man.
Well, he's sabotaging his chances now because he's had piss poor seasons since he left Seattle. But I suppose that's a conversation for a different time. Last thing I wanted to touch on, did y'all remember, this previous offseason where the NFL proposed a rule change where it went down into they hated the onside kick and they wanted to replace it with a 4th and 15 attempts.
Mm-hmm.
So but regardless, sounds like the executive vice president of the league, again, he is growing frustrated with the lack of conversion with the onside kick. It's only at 5% historically. He wants to bring it back to the table. He initially posed 4th and 20. Now he wants to make it 4th and 15. He thinks he makes this game more exciting. Would you be okay with it? And or do you think it is going to get passed? In my opinion, regardless on how you feel, I think the NFL has proven time and time again that they are trying to make each and every single play as exciting as humanly possible. Look at what they did with the kickoff. I have a feeling next year, I think that the onside kick is completely gone, and I think they do replace it with that overall attempt. TD, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what that'll look like with you said it would be
so
4th and 15. What would it be? 15?
Yeah. So rather than attempting an onside kick, your offense goes on the field and you need to convert 15 yards. And if you convert it, then boom, you get possession again. So just replace. So you would just replace the onside kick for that 15-yard attempt to move the sticks. If you succeed, then the ball is kicked off to you or what have you. And you start there, something like that.
I don't know if I even like that. I don't like it. I feel like it makes it like a lot of people would actually be going for that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of teams would go for that. But I don't know if I like it. I just feel like that would be changing the game. Just a 15. And what if they score on that play? Do they get the points or just your ball?
No.
Okay. Yeah. It's just about getting 15 yards. So you got it.
Yeah.
No, I like the rarity of the onside kick, making it hard. And it's a small % chance. Game is over. Miracles happen. The 4th and 15, I'm not a big fan of it. Stick with the onside kick element. The only thing I don't like is that you have to announce it because of the new kickoff rule. I would like for that to be implemented at any point of the game. Because we've seen some historic games, second quarter, where bam, just out of the blue, and I think we even seen a Super Bowl that happened here. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the 4th and 15. I mean, I guess a lot of teams would go for it and it would be successful. They'll get, especially if it's a penalty on the play. Is it automatically give you the ball if it's a penalty on the play? You know, so all of those things are factored in. I'm not sure. I feel like that complicates things.
Who brought this up? Like, where is this coming from?
So it was an article that dropped 2 days ago where the vice president is bringing that rule change again to the table next offseason at the owners meeting.
That was one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. That would like be one of the worst rules I think that NFL would ever implement. All it takes is a phantom pass interference. Teams are just going to throw it up and then try to draw a penalty, and you get like what creates that miracle comebacks is the low probabilities of onside kicks. That's going to increase. That's going to change the whole dynamic of comebacks. 4th and 15s, man. No, I'm very against that, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro. Like the NFL is like, they keep trying to change things. Like, let's just keep the way it is. And I think that that'll be fine. But a 4th and 15 to get the ball back sounds brutal to me.
I'll tell you what, say that you ever miss. Say that you miss. So the old NFL kickoff, just tune on some college football on Saturdays. Giant shout out to Sleeper for being a proud partner of this show and the Roundtable Sports Network in general. Guys, they are offering the best promo in the game. It's $20 just for signing up, and the entire process is very easy. All you do is pick 2 to 5 players, and you accurately predict whether they are going to go above and or below their projections. If you get all of that right, you could potentially 1000x your play. Best part about it is say that you do decide to put down a deposit. They're matching it up to 100%, all the way up to $100. You don't want to miss out on Sleeper Picks. Thank you for being a proud partner of this show. Thank you so much.
Let's get into some callers. We got Lino. What up, bro?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
I just wanted to address definitely, man. I don't understand. Cowboys, man, they're not winning that division. They need more than just one piece on that defense, man. They secondary trash, linebackers trash. So even though Dak's been balling out, we've seen this before. You know what I mean? He could ball out all he wants. I mean, if the other side of the ball, don't defend well, I mean, ain't much else you can do. You got to keep doing shootouts every game and stuff like that. So, 2, I think Russell might is going to get in the Hall of Fame. And it's just not going to be on the first or second or third try. It's not like the Hall of Fame people get together and be like, man, you know what? What's your opinions of TD? Because they don't give a damn about TD's opinion. Thoughts, TD, on your opinion that they don't give a damn about your opinion? Any thoughts?
No, I mean, I don't expect them to.
Shout out to Lino for the call, man.
Yeah. Lino crazy, man.
Let's not giving TD flowers for picking like, oh yeah, I know ball. Like the Colts, I told you. Like that is the most fall into lap take. I was literally laughing.
Richie, man. Stop hating on
let's call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is. When I was listening to the show yesterday, and I was so happy you said that because I was listening and I couldn't have a rebuttal. But hearing TD say that and you giving him the flowers, I started laughing in my car. And then luckily you said what I was thinking. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Dan. Thank you for saying that.
And it was Cal.
It's not Cap, bro.
I was praising the Colts to uplift the Dolphins. What I saw in that game,
it was dumb luck. Like that's what it was.
I watched the game and I said, this is actually a legitimate contender.
If the Titans beat you first week of the season, you would have said the same thing.
Oh, I wouldn't have.
No matter who it
would depend on how they did it.
And they play well.
Was it impressive?
Yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah, so the Colts, man, I mean, Daniel Jones was making throws that I didn't even think he could. And I saw just like perfection almost. I say, no, they're going to be legitimate.
All right, let's get to the next caller. We got LaSalle. What up, LaSalle?
What's good, everyone? I do think Russell could have been a Hall of Famer if he stayed in Seattle. I don't think he'll go to the Hall of Fame now because of just how bad he was in Denver, then on the Steelers. I don't think.
Your mic was a little messed up there, Lascelles. Sorry, buddy. We had to cut you off there. Could not hear anything you said. But he's something about Russell Wilson. Appreciate the call, Lascelles. Let's get to Parks. What's good, Parks?
What up, fellas?
What's up? What's
going
up,
on, my
man? We'll save some tonight for the AFC Roundtable. But Russell Wilson is not a Hall of Famer. Sorry. My criteria for Hall of Famer, were you top 3? Forget top 5, because we say top 5, everybody be able to get in. Were you top 3 for 5 or more years? When was Russell Wilson the top 3 quarterback in the NFL for 5 or more years?
No.
Because it wasn't with the Legion of Boom, because the defense and Marshawn Lynch carried them.
Yeah.
And if we want to compare him to Cam Newton, in my personal opinion, Cam Newton is a Hall of Famer. Because Cam Newton came into the league and he changed the quarterback position. We used to see quarterbacks running around defenders. Cam changed the game because he started running through defenders. Cam Newton had the whole world dabbing. Like, we're not just going to dismiss this. Like, Cam Newton is a Hall of Famer. Russell Wilson is not. And it doesn't matter if the Broncos situation, the Giants situation, that doesn't matter. We need to stop that talking about everybody's a Hall of Famer. Like, people talking about Matt Ryan is a Hall of Famer. Josh Allen is a Bills fan told me Josh Allen is a Hall of Famer right now. What? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Josh Allen is not a Hall of Famer right now. If they were to retire right now, they wouldn't be Hall of Famers. Lamar Jackson is not a Hall of Famer right now. They need to put in more body of work. We need more body of work from them. I think the only person that you can say is a Hall of Famer right now, the only quarterback,
Patrick Mahomes.
Probably Patrick Mahomes. That's about it. Everybody else, they're not. And one more thing before I go,
and Rodgers,
Bills fan. Yeah. One more thing before I go, Bills fans. Hey, Dan Mitchell, you know how you always tell me Keon Coleman sucks? I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow y'all mind, fans. Did y'all know that in that draft, the 2024 draft, the Buffalo Bills traded with the Chiefs?
As always.
And the Chiefs took Xavier Worthy. They had Xavier Worthy sitting in their hands. They took Xavier Worthy. And the Bills traded, and the Bills took Keon Coleman. Blame yourself, Bills. Don't worry about it. We're going to talk about it tonight, Bills fans, because I'm sick of y'all.
Ooh, thanks for the call, Parks. That's an interesting point there.
Look, I am off the Keon Coleman train, by the way. I'm done defending him. We'll talk about it on the AFC East Roundtable.
And by the way,
what pissed me off about that even more was not even so much Worthy, because still, I'm okay on Worthy, and so I don't think he's a 1, right? But what really pissed me off was that we didn't go for Ladd McConkey, and he was on the board. That's what you should be pissed off about, is that Ladd McConkey was there for the taking, right? We said, nah, we're good. Anyway, guys, shout out to RotoWire. You just ended up hearing me discuss player prop parlays over on Sleeper. We'll say, for example, that you really want to put in some research to make sure that you're hitting on all of your plays. Go run over to RotoWire and take advantage of this promo that they have going on using our code RTS, right? You're getting 15% off, and they tell you all of the locks for overs and unders, specifically on the Sleeper platform. If, for example, you've been successful on player props and you just want to add something else to your arsenal, highly recommend you check that out. Link is in bio. Big shout out to RotoWire for being a proud partner of the show.
Tony says, Woody said, not a thing wrong. # smoke Bob.
Smoke Bob, dude.
Yeah, Woody did say nothing but facts. You're right, Tony. I ain't gonna lie that.
He did, man. Dude.
He's not afraid to tell the truth, that man, Woody.
People just love when I beat up Bob, dude, you know?
Lil V says, Richie and TD, I need that wake up a ball in my life. I'm not going to lie, Lil V. I am scratching, watching basketball be back last night. I'm scratching that itch to be back in the basketball vibes. I will not be on the AFC East Roundtable tonight, folks. But tune in because I'll be going to the Knicks opener with my dad, which was really exciting. That's a tradition we got every year. I guess I'm just not allowed to go watch my favorite basketball team play, according to TD, because it's just they're not to go to the world's most famous arena. By the way, Madison Square Garden makes up a little bit of how bad MetLife Stadium is. I will say that. But if you want basketball content, you want NBA content, not on Wake Up a Ball, come over to me. Come over to Knicks Media. I'm about to go live today before I head over to the Garden to do a little preview show. So anybody that likes basketball, they're back on NBC last night, which was cool. I don't know. I can't talk basketball here, unfortunately.
It's the opener, Richie. The opener?
So we have Red Hood saying y'all tripping Lamar and Joe are Hall of Famers. Literally changed the game. That longevity BS is only for trash players that need stats like Matt Ryan. Okay, how is Joe Burrow a Hall of Famer? Like, dude lost the Super Bowl, had one of the worst playoffs statistically as a QB, was carried by his defense in that playoff run. How is he a Hall of Famer?
He's on his way, but he's not one yet.
Yeah. He's not a Hall of Famer right now.
No, I mean, it's not.
He's a pocket passer. He's like a dinosaur. He's good at it. He's good at what he does. But again, I mean,
Mahomes
the ability is availability.
Yeah.
Like he's
not the
so
only
with Joe
one.
Burrow. So with Joe Burrow to me right now, you know who he is? He is Andrew Luck. It's exactly who he is. He's Andrew Luck.
Hey, double Andrew Luck career, he in the Hall of Fame without a Super Bowl.
You think? Dude, listen, man. Like,
we're getting every record in a short amount of time.
Is Andrew Luck a Hall of Famer?
No, I'm saying if he doubled his career,
yeah.
He would have been. He was breaking.
For a second, I thought you said that Luck was a Hall of Famer. I was just like, okay, well then definitely roll out the red carpet for Russell Wilson.
No, he just statistically he did a lot early in his career.
Shout out to JTL for subscribing to Knicks Media. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that.
Dude, you know what, man? Like, you could actually be tapping into the Bills fan base, bro. And for Knicks
I'm down.
Media.
I remember I've been saying that last year. Like Bills Mafia, we can be involved in the same team. We can all be Knicks fans. Come on, New York.
Let me go subscribe to Knicks Media so I can hate
come in the chat. I'm about to be live. I'm about to go live on Jets Media right after this to go over to the incompetent Jets and then do a Knicks Media stream. And then I'm heading on the train, headed into Penn Station with my dad, get some dinner, have a nice night in New York City, watch some good basketball. Unfortunately for the Knicks, we already have like 3 of our starters injured, but it's okay. Lissell, $5 super chat. Sorry about my crappy 5G connection. Thank you all for inspiring me and others to give fans a voice. Lissell, we appreciate you coming on here, being a supportive Patreon caller and all the stuff that you do here on the network. Lissell, you are freaking awesome. We love you, my man. We really, really do. Cheers to the NBA kicking off and cheers to the NFL continuing. And we also got the World Series starting on Friday. So it's a peak of the sports world, and the NHL is underway. Can't forget that. So I love October. It is where all
sports month, baby.
Plays. It's just nothing but sports. And maybe we can get Wake Up a Ball back because we need some type of show on this network covering all the sports. But hey, it is what it is. We will see you guys later. Connor Long will be filling in for me on the roundtable tonight. Everybody go support him, representing the New York Jets. I'm sorry, Connor, that you have to deal with these guys while we're 0-7. But hey, it is what it is. Be nice to him, man. Like, we were 0-7. Like, why is TDO trying to pick a fight with my boy Connor?
Yeah, he gets no break tonight. He gonna feel every.
Because you have no floor to stand on, bro. Like, Dan, don't let TD bully Connor because
I won't.
Because I hope TD realizes that we're literally like just as bad, if not.
No, we're not. No, we're not. There's levels to this, Richie.
Like, Dan, just do me a favor and just ground TD. If he ever starts going into Connor, like, you better check him just for me. Dan.
Connor knows though. Connor last time he understood his fate. Connor understood his fate.
Now, Connor's gonna stand on business tonight. He's gonna rip into you. I can't wait.
Oh man.
Well, folks, we appreciate you tuning in. Folks, we appreciate you tuning in for an hour and 13 minutes. Look at us. Who are we? Love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Peace.